You know, arguably, you're taking over arguably the most complex and broad-reaching agency within the government. Now, you might say that DOE's maybe got a broader span in different ways, but as far as reaching Americans' lives, this is probably as broad-reaching as it gets, and it is incredibly complex. Your soon-to-be predecessor was a nuclear physicist, as you know, and we actually got along with him quite well. He was very intimidating when he started talking about nuclear physics. But in any event, my contention would be you don't have to be a nuclear physicist to run this agency. As Senator Manchin adequately described what happens when you become governor, nobody hands you a manual. Your success or failure depends upon your own ability to manage an incredibly broad-reaching range of services and issues for the people of your state. And it all depends on the people that you bring around you, obviously, because you've got to have experts around you. And believe me, in this agency you're taking on, you're going to need lots and lots of experts to help you do that. We have, everybody's talked about their states, we have in Idaho, the Idaho National Laboratory, which is the birthplace of nuclear energy in the world. The first light bulbs were lit by nuclear energy, were done so there at the lab. And it is today the lead laboratory on nuclear energy. And I got to have to tell you, after I met with you, I was really impressed with how you're getting your arms around this. There's a lot of different laboratories in the country. Most Americans have no idea what they do or the complexity of them. And I was very impressed with the way that you're getting your arms around them. A couple of things that you and I talked about that I appreciate your commitment to, and that is also the INL, in addition to its nuclear mission, is now becoming one of the lead laboratories, and there'll probably be three of them altogether, dealing with this cybersecurity and control systems issue that is incredible vulnerability here in America. You and I talked about that a little bit. Can you tell me your thoughts on that publicly? We talked about it privately. I think you should have the ability to talk about this publicly.
Thank you, Senator, and thank you for relaying the interesting juxtaposition that governors have when it comes to managing kind of complex issues that they face. And again, I go back to, I think that is a very good prerequisite and foundation. Ernie Moniz and I are good friends. I mean, we've known each other. Bill Richardson. Interestingly, I think in the history of the agency, there have only been two nuclear physicists that were the heads of the agency. There's been a governor or two. So the issue from my perspective is being able to manage and prioritize what is important and finding those individuals who are some of the best in the business. You may not be able to bring them into government, but you can draw them into the process. A great many times because of their patriotic commitment to this country. And so on the cybersecurity side, that will be my intention, is to go find men and women in the private sector, in our universities, at the DOE. And as you know, our national labs they're the repository of some of the extraordinary brilliance in the world. They truly are crown jewel of this country from a intellectual and particularly a scientific standpoint. And putting together a team, obviously working with other agencies. DARPA is going to play an important role. I would suggest to you there are many other areas, but to coordinate cross-agency, I think, Senator, is going to really be important as well. And to have the support not only of the administration, but of Congress and the private sector on what I consider to be one of the great challenges that we have in the short span, because this arena is going to change. It's going to change in a hurry. Just like the supercomputing side And we've allowed ourselves to get a bit behind in supercomputing. Matter of fact, that's one of the areas that I think dovetails in to the cybersecurity side, is our ability to move forward to that next generation of supercomputing, the exascale models that are going to be out there. So you will see the same commitment that I made, that I had, that we had a success in my home state, of going literally from zero to the manufacturing of vaccines for pandemic events. I mean, I know that we can do this, and I know we have the expertise. We need the management, we need the resources, but we can successfully put into place cybersecurity practices that not only secure our private conversations from that matter, but to the more important side of things as our electrical grid and our military capabilities.